Hello, welcome to Juniper Level Botanic Garden, the home of Plant Delights Nursery. This is a gorgeous selection of Japanese iris. The cultivar is Satozakura. Zakura or Sakura with a Z or an S is cherry blossom in Japanese. I don't know what the Sato part means. It's the first of our Japanese iris to bloom. There's a long period, maybe 6 weeks or more, when we have Japanese iris blooming in the garden, because you have ones like this that start early and others that are probably not even showing color at this point. And if you take one of these flowers and lift up the petals, it is a full 6 inches across. I know that because I was leading a tour last year and I did exactly this, and somebody whipped a tape measure out of their pocket. I don't have mine with me today, but trust me, that's 6 inches or so. The Japanese iris are, they're all derived from just one species, Iris ensata. Most other groups of hybrid iris, like the bearded iris and the Louisiana iris, have a number of different species as parents, but Iris ensata were developed just from the wild Japanese iris. Some of them date back, some of the cultivars date back to the 1800s or even earlier, and the samurai, when they weren't busy with conflicts, were one group of people that bred the Japanese iris. When I was a kid, we called these iris camphori, but that's an invalid name. They vary in height. This is just an average one. It's not quite 4 feet tall, but there's a couple ones that are more about almost 6 feet tall. One that I can think of, or a couple I can think of, are Bellender Blue, which isn't blue at all. It's very violet, a beautiful clear violet. And there's an old white one called Great White Heron that both get quite big. To be successful with the Japanese iris, and they really are very easy, I would avoid a dry site. They would love a site that's moist. But if you just have average moisture and you can grow something like a daylily or a hosta or a tomato, that's moist enough for them. Now, you will often see Japanese iris in full bloom displayed in standing water. That's a traditional way to display them in Japan, and they are not grown in the water, but they're grown in pots. And then when they're at their peak of floral perfection, the pots are sunk in the garden, and you can view them, you know, with the backdrop of a panel of clear water. Because the flowers are basically flat, I think viewing from up above is an ideal way to view them. I wish I had a flower of wild type Iris ensata, because the flower is much smaller, and you know, at 6 inches, this isn't at 6 inches. This is just an average size Japanese iris, because reading in catalogs, there are some that are 10 and 11 inches in diameter, and this would be considered a single because it has 4 standards, the upward petals, and 4, I mean 3, all parts in threes, and it has 3 falls, these 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, and these are the style arms that are protecting the stamen. But there are doubles that have, you know, 6 falls, and then there are a few cultivars with more than 6, you know, 9 to 12 falls. So I think most people prefer the more double ones, I like the simpler ones, but that's just personal taste. But Iris ensata is great. The bearded irises are basically done. The Louisiana hybrids are finishing up. So this will continue the iris display if you're an iris fanatic like me. Oh, I should also say Japanese iris are clump formers. Louisiana irises spread quickly, but Japanese iris are like Siberian iris. They just form a nice clump. Once your clumps have gotten large, you can divide them and spread them around the garden, but it's not something they need really. But they're a well-behaved plant in the garden. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope to see you again in the garden.